Hi, so today we're going to look at how to set up and take down a Coachmen Clipper Sport 106 UD. This is a 10-foot pop-up camper, and as you can see, we're attaching it here to the hitch of the truck. So as you're cranking, make sure you push that little wheel up with your foot so that it doesn't just stay there hanging while you're in transit. Now you're gonna loosen that up and bring that up all the way to the top and then tighten it back up. And put your hitch on and you're ready to go. When you get to your campsite, you're gonna undo the hitch and you're going to lower that wheel. Alright, so you're going to loosen that, you're going to lower it, and now you're going to crank to lift up the camper so that it releases from the hitch from your vehicle. So as you can see, it's really come off the hitch from the truck. So once you do that, make sure you put a block in front of the tire so that your camper doesn't go anywhere. And now you're going to just bring it down a bit to kind of level it out by eye, so it's not too high on the front end.
First thing is this.
And now you're going to undo those clips. There's one on each corner, so there's 4 in total. So we're going to undo these 2 first, and then we're going to pop open the camper lid just a little bit so that we can open the door and get a couple of tools. First one is going to be the crank. That's a hand crank. So that's going to lower the stabilizers, which is very important. And my husband doesn't like to use the hand crank because it takes too long, so instead he's going to use a drill. So you can use the hand crank, but like I said, it takes too long. Use a drill with the attachment, and boom. There's the front 2. Sorry, not the front 2, just the front one. And the rear one. Go around to the other side. And there's the third. And there's the 4th. All done with that. Now we're going to open the latches on the other side. And you can see that's where you can fill up your water tank right there while we're walking around. Don't mind my finger. Alright, and there's the crank that's going to open up the camper completely. So put the crank in there.
We'll show you up or down.
And we're gonna work clockwise, and that will open up the camper. Gonna open the lid. And you're gonna see a little green line. And I'll show you that in just a minute, because that helps guide how much you should open the camper. So there's a line, and you can see it right there.
Put it there, you gotta watch the green wire.
Right there. So that you want to open the lid until it's taut, but you don't want to make it tight because then you'll bust it and that's no good. So make it a little taut, and that's as far as you want to open that. Now you pull the ends out. So this is the one bed that we're pulling out here. That's the bigger of the beds, so that's the one in the front. And the one in the rear is the slightly smaller one. So grab the handle, pull that out. Next, you're going to put these under the front bed, so this helps to give it some support. So the one end goes right there, and then put your oh, the handle was slightly in the way there, so he's gonna move the handle. I'm gonna try that again, and lift that up with your back, and slides right in. Do that with the other side as well. In it goes, and there we go. And we go around to the back and do the same thing. So we've got 2 of those. Come around to the back. And those go right on the back of the trailer there. There we go. One there. And the other one right there. All right. Next.
Just the safety rails.
These are some safety rails. There's 2 of those. So one goes on this side, on the front passenger side, and the other one goes on the rear driver's side. And you just cover that over, and it's got Velcro, so just stick it on there. Now you go around, pull these down around the beds. There's also some bungees on the bottom of that, so you want to attach the bungees to the little clips that are underneath there. But first, you want to extend the bed. So you take the straight rod, put it into the curved one. Push it out and clip it into the roof there. And you do the same thing on the other side. The kitchenette, you just grab the handle, lift it up, and that's it. Kitchenette setup. There's a little hanging,
that hangs from here.
like a little hanging cubby. It's made of fabric. It's underneath the storage seat there, and it just hangs there. So you can put, some spoons or spices, whatever you want. So to close it, do the same thing. Bring it back down.
Same thing.
And that's it. And you do that in reverse to take it down. And that stays on the bed. Just flip it back there so it doesn't ruin anything. And the other one goes under the mattress. And that's it. Now the door.
Hang on with one hand.
Like, you just hang on to that. Probably easier with 2 people, but husband's doing it by himself. Bring that down, slides that into the bottom door.
Knob on each side.
Make sure that fits into the right holes in the slots.
What's that, so?
And that's it. And then you go to the top.
That's in, you turn these brackets.
And turn those little brackets, and that holds the door in place. And same thing, you just put the fabric over top of the Velcro, and then you seal it all up. And we're going to take it down. So undo those latches, and it goes back onto the roof of the camper. And there's 4 clips. Make sure you get all 4 of them. 1. Let's go on this side. 2, 3, and 4. And done.
It'll be in reverse.
All right, now we're going to take it down, so we're going in reverse. We've got that one at the front passenger side. We've got the one on the rear driver's side.
Should say you might have to give the trailer a couple clicks up to pull these out.
So yeah, if that doesn't come out too easily, then you just have to give it a couple of clicks to raise the camper. Just a little bit, not too much, just so it comes out.
Everything, the bed.
Now we're going to take the supports off from underneath. So the 2 supports come out. And the 2 supports from the back.
Same thing on the back.
And now we're going to push the beds in. We'll get as much of that fabric down into the camper. And give it a good push. Make sure that slides in gently. You shouldn't have to really force anything. It should slide in nice and easy. So that's the front. We're going to do the back. Put the little handles to the inside, and now you've got to make sure that as you're closing it, that all of the fabric is on the inside so you don't pinch anything with the lid when you're closing it. So you have to do a couple of walkarounds as you're lowering the top of the camper. Here we go, push that in.
Seeing as the wind keeps pushing it.
And we're going to crank counterclockwise, bring the lid down. Decided to make this video because we looked for a how to set up and take down one of these little campers, but we really couldn't find one that was specific to this model. So we figured we would do one since we were selling it. So that way the next owner has a how to, and they know how to set it up and how to bring it down. If you're watching up to here, I hope it's been useful to you. Hope you've enjoyed.
More, a little more, still pushing.
As you can see, bring it down a little bit, walk around, tuck everything in. That way you don't cause any damage or any rips to any of the fabric. push everything in. Now when you're setting one of these up, if you decide that you want to use the canopy at the front there, we never did use it, so I can't help you on how to set it up and how to take it down. But when you're setting up the camper, when it's at this height is when you want to take that out and set it up. Otherwise, if you set it up after you've opened it, it's too high. You won't be able to reach it. And that's it for the crank.
Okay, from there,
Now before you close it all up,
just push.
make sure
Use the hand crank to get the stabilizers back up.
Make sure you bring the stabilizers back up if you're going to be using the hand crank. This is where you would be using it. But again, we prefer to use the drill, which is much faster. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're done. Now, last thing is to put those tools back into the camper before you completely close it up.
Last thing.
So, put them in. Now, do up the 4 latches. There's my finger. And 4. You're done. Happy camping.
That should be it. If you want the awning out, the